Hello everyone! Welcome once again to NPR Maya, your channel to learn how to generate NPR shaders in Maya software. Following the last tutorial, in today's video, we are going to learn about different functionalities of some nodes. With this information, we will learn how to create a texture using the procedural shading technique. So, let's get started. To begin our process, let's go to the Hypershade window and create a ramp node. We can either press the tab button and type ramp, or go to the search window in the Create tab and search for it. As we can see, we have different types of ramp nodes, but the one we need is this one, which is a ramp texture. Because it's a texture, we have our texture coordinate node in purple and the texture node in gray. Let's go to the ramp texture node and see what adjustments we can make. First of all, we have the type parameter, where we can choose the type of ramp we want. It can be in the V direction, U direction, circular ramp, etc. Let's set it to V-ramp for now. Then we have the interpolation option, which allows us to control the color transition. For our purpose, let's set it to none, so we will have a sharp transition between white and black. We can also control the position where we want our colors. Let's set it to 0.3, and as we can see, we can visualize the changes on the top bar. Then we have U wave and V wave, which allow us to create wavy lines in the chosen direction. Because we currently have a V ramp, we can control the V wave parameter. Let's set it to 0.6. As we observe, if we try to make changes in the U direction, nothing happens, because we are not controlling that value at the moment. We can also add some noise to the lines, which becomes interesting, especially if we set this parameter with a low value. Let's set it to 0.1. Then we can also set the noise frequency to maximum to obtain an irregular strip effect. Now, if we move to the texture coordinate node, we see there are different parameters we can control. We can, for example, repeat the UV values. Let's set 100 for the U value and 5 for the V value. Currently, our lines are small because we have a high repetition number in the U direction. If we want to increase the size of the strips and have more space between them, we can go to the coverage parameter and increase the numbers. Let's set both values to 10. And now we can observe the effect better. We can also rotate the UV by setting it to 36, for example, or add some noise to the UV. Let's set 0.025 for the U value and 0.05 for the V value. To create an interesting effect, we can specifically tweak the V direction, which is the one we are currently working with. If we go back to the ramp texture node, we can decrease the selected position parameter to 0.2 and set the V wave parameter to a small number, let's say 0.03. And if we return to the texture coordinate node, and we go to the coverage parameter, we can set the U value to 1 and V value to 10. Let's also adjust the repeat UV parameter to 100 for the U value and 15 for the V value, and set the rotate UV to 4.7. Alternatively, we can set the rotate and the noise UV parameters to 0. And increase the V value repetition to 100, which will result in having more strips. And that's how we can generate a different texture for our projects. As we observe, the U value in the repeat UV parameter is what generates the jittery edge effect. Once our texture is set, let's create a material to apply it to an object. There are different types of materials to choose from, but let's create an A-tone material. As we see, it has the material node in gray and the shading group in blue. To connect the texture and the material together, we need to go to the Out Color port in the Ramp Texture node. If we see, it is a multi-value parameter, like every color parameter, because we have a plus sign. So we need to connect it to another multi-value parameter color. Let's click on the Out Color port and drag it into the top port of the A-Tone material node, which displays a drop-down menu. Go and select Other, and then go down and choose the base color parameter. Now, to apply the material to the object, we can either drag and drop the material node onto the object, or select the object, right-click on the material node, and choose Assign Material to the Viewport selection. If we open the Arnold renderer, now we can see the texture we have created. Remember to set a light on the scene that we can select from the rendering tab, for example, because otherwise we are not going to be able to see your texture. And that is all for now with this tutorial. In a more advanced procedural shading tutorial, I will show you how to apply the texture just like we have done in this one, but we will apply it to a specific area of a halftone. I hope it was useful for you, and I will see you in the next one.